Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the commodities update. This is where we do analysis on natural gas, UNG, as well as the US dollar, oil, gold, and silver. So we'll be doing technical analysis to see where the most likely scenario price will be heading into later this week. And if you guys learn anything, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. They're always appreciated. And the free Discord link is in my YouTube bio. And it's all free. Just come hang out, talk about stocks, or chat. All right, let's get started. And we're looking at natural gas here at the daily time frame, and currently we have it forming two bottom wicks, so that's a potential sign of reversal here. And I talked about where this may actually form a big equilibrium on the daily chart, which is a big move down, big move up, and big move down, and each move is always going to be within prior moves. So the next move up is going to be within this drop. So we'll see if it continues to tighten up into later this year. So currently we want to see if this area is an actual reversal or not. So let's take a look at some more clues. So first clue we can look at is pretty much you guys see this sideways chop range here with all this volume traded. We zoom into the 4-hour frame and we can see that pretty much if we didn't hold this level, we would have probably tested this all-time low, because this is where all the volume was at when we were testing support and resistance. So first sign is that good thing we made that a higher low, meaning this low was higher than the prior low. That's a good sign. So we bounced, set a pivot here. This low was higher than this low, so that's a pivot being set. We broke above the prior high, so that's a trend change. So now we have a trend change back to the upside, so the uptrend, a 4-hour uptrend. And now the thing I'm looking at is on the 8-hour. You guys know where we've been talking about 8-hour EMA 12 being resistance and support. So this teal looking line, exponential moving average 12, acted as resistance. Every time you can see we touch that, has been acting as very strong resistance overall. Continuing downside until we broke above it and market finally decides bounce. You can see it's acting as support all the way up. All the way up. So it's a very clear support and resistance until it doesn't work. So right now it's still working as well. You can see once we broke through that, it started to act as resistance again. Resistance here, resistance here. So far acted as twice and a little bit here as well over here. So 3 times. But the question is, when we come up to test this again over here, are we going to just reject it and then go lower, or are we going to break above that? Ideally, we break above it and then come back down, retest it, and act as support. So prior resistance, if we break above it, I want to see it become support and then bounce. That'll be the best case scenario. Now we won't know until it tests it. Also, there's a lot of volume in this area as well. You can see that yellow line. All this on the side here is all volume. So you can see when we come up to this zone, there's 2 resistance. It's going to be a lot of volume for resistance. You can see, which is all these rejections here. And that 8-hour time frame EMA 12 is going to act as resistance. So if we can get over that, then we probably are going to start shaping over that big equilibrium overall. And now let's just use the hourly trend as our guide. Currently we're in an hourly uptrend. So that's it. Very first time we even want to see for a reversal, marking the potential bottom. So if this just rolls over, then we're probably going to test all-time lows. Yeah, so we'll see if this hourly uptrend holds and continue upwards. Yeah, let's see, form that big equilibrium. All right, let's take a look at UNG. So UNG follows natural gas, and similar idea here. You can see on the very first thing I want to see as well is an hourly trend change on any kind of trend reversal. We have been on a big downtrend, and now we are getting our very first hourly uptrend as well. So you can see hourly EMA acting as resistance, resistance, resistance all the way down. And finally, broken above, set an hourly uptrend right there. On this whole way drop, we didn't make an hourly uptrend at all. So that's the very first time we want to see a potential bounce. Big drop, bounce. Try to set the pivot here. didn't make a new high. So no hourly trend change here. If we had bounced above that high, that would have been an hourly uptrend. So no fake outs here on hourly here. It was an hourly downtrend all the way until bounce. Pivot being set, broke above the prior high. So that's an hourly uptrend. So that increases the probability of us bouncing a little bit further here, but there's no guarantees, obviously. But we always play with probabilities. And yeah, same thing with natural gas. Let's see if we can form that big equilibrium. Big move down, big move down, big move up, big move down. Gets tighter and tighter. And if natural gas comes up to that AR EMA 12, it's going to be at 2.55. And UNG will be likely testing this 5.2 level. Yeah, if your chart looks a little bit different than mine, make sure you click the adjusted button. These are adjusted for contracts. Otherwise, your chart will look more like this if it's not adjusted for contracts. All right, let's take a look at oil. So oil, let's see. So still in this big tightening range. This is what a tightening range looks like. CPM move up, big move down, big move up. It's always within the prior move. This is on the weekly chart, so this takes a very long time. Big move down, and we're still just kind of flagging here, a bear flag. As long as oil does not get over the weekly time frame, EMA 12, which is a teal looking line. So you have rejected from there 1, 2, 3, 4 times as well. So if we reject it from there again and then come lower, we're likely going to retest this uptrending support again. And it'll just continue to flag until it decides to break out of its flag or not. So we'll see. Currently, it's in a bear flag because it hasn't bounced over 38.2% yet. We slightly touched it, the 0.382 mark. So it's still in this bear flag territory. If we break above the EMA and shot up through here, then that's a negated bear flag. But so far, it's still in the bear flag territory. We'll see where it goes. Daily, you can see still very choppy as well. And just this flag zone here. All right, let's take the US dollar. That's the weekly. Let's go to the daily. Daily looks okay, but we pretty much bull flagged here, broke above it, and lacking a slight little follow through here. You can see we broke above it, all these resistance, and then we came back below it and closed below it. So that's a little bit of a potential small red flag. Nothing too serious. This could just go back and retest it tomorrow, but we're just seeing a little bit of lack of follow through from the bulls at this level. It does kind of make sense. You can see this mirror looking line, resistance, support. And now it's acting as a resistance here. Doesn't mean it's game over for the bulls or anything. It just means a slight rejection. That's all. The hourly, let's see if any clues. Yeah, pretty much just a slight rejection. Hourly trend is still in an uptrend. So as long as the bulls hold above this pivot, this 103.32 pivot, they can just bounce here and go higher. No huge red flag yet, but just a very early sign that we may get lacking follow through here. So we'll see if that happens. And similar to over here, you can see we had 2 upper wicks here. And until it breaks below the pivots, we won't know. So at the moment, because this is more so an indecision candle, we did come below it and bounced. So that's a good sign for the bulls, but we did go above and came below. So that's a good sign for the bears, but it's not that big of a deal at the moment for the bears. Sorry, for the bulls, because of this test and bounce. It goes at the higher upper range of the day. Let's take a look at gold here. Gold is still tightening up and no direction yet as of now. Big move down, big move up, big move down, big move up, tighter. So pretty much until it breaks out of this tiny range, we know where it's going to be trading. So no fake outs here, and let's see if it breaks soon. It also depends on the dollar. Dollar and gold are inversely correlated, and so if the dollar breaks out of this downtrending resistance, then gold is likely going to break out of this tiny range bearish. So let's see about that. Yeah, the tiny range is the most clear. Other than that, it's just very choppy sideways. Let's look at silver. Silver broke. Surprised I drew my line like that. It's probably gonna be. It's more like, let's see, delete that. This line's delete this. Actually, let's just go like this. Sometimes TradingView's line just moves for no reason, and yeah. Anyways, so this is a falling wedge. Support, support, support. Resistance, 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 resistance. So we pretty much know where silver is going to be traded as well. So as long as silver is trading in this falling wedge, and it'll likely continue to do that until we get a big move on the dollar. And the dollar bull breaks, this will probably break out of this falling wedge to the bear side and potentially test 21.2. So far, it's holding its support and still in its pattern. And yeah, we'll see once it breaks. Same thing with gold, still in its pattern. No red flags at the moment. All right, that's all I got for you guys. And if you guys want any one-on-one coachings or supporting the channel, go to the Patreon link. And yeah, have a great rest of you guys' week. I will see you guys potentially tomorrow or Friday.